guys, I'm gonna do a review of Sabrina. No, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Excuse me, issue 1 of 9. I figure I'm just gonna do I'm gonna do all of them. I'm just gonna make a category of The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I'm just gonna beeline real quick, talk about what I just liked about the comic. You know what I'm saying, and whatever else interests me about the comic. So it starts off with Edward Theodore Spellman, and he is the father of Sabrina. And so the year is 1951. It is October 31st, of course, and they are in Westbridge, Massachusetts. And Edward is like in his. I think he's in his office. He's in his office and he's stewing over all these things. He looks very regretful, as you're reading the comic, and he's looking over a picture of his wife, and he's like, basically, he says, "I wish you didn't have to." He said, "I wish I could take the cup from your lips," basically. So what I got from that was like, okay, a deal has been made. A deal has been made, and they can't renege from this deal. And shortly after that, a coven of witches just spooks him. They're right behind him. And they're like, hey, Merry Halloween, basically. You know what I'm saying? Because, that's the thing. It's like, that's basically like Christmas to witches. And he's like, oh, they're there. And he's like, okay, let me get Diane, because Diane is his wife. And Diane is supposed to come downstairs with Sabrina, and she's supposed to offer. Okay, my bad. Her name is Diana. Her name is Diana. She's supposed to give them Sabrina as an offering, because apparently, Diana wasn't able to conceive without the help of the witches. Like, it's crazy. So the witches are downstairs and they're talking to Edward, and they're like, hey, um, we need Sabrina. We came here for. Like, what I'm saying? They're like, we came here for. And he's like, all right, let me go get Diane and the baby. And he goes upstairs, and Diane is not there. Diane took her daughter, and she ran out the window, or jumped out the window and ran into the woods, right? Like any sane woman would, right? Because she apparently, she was told that they were going to do this. And so, like any mother, she took her baby, because why would you have a baby and then get. Well, also, I should backtrack. This is a year after Sabrina's born. So she's 1 year old, right? So, you know, Diane is running off into the woods with her baby, and then, Edward is like, we've been through this, Diane. Basically, like saying out, looking out in the window, like, she's running off. And the coven and Edward, they track her down in the woods, and he's like, how can you, we're, what time it was, you know what I am, you know what this is. Um, we need Sabrina. And I think Sabrina is so important. I think Sabrina is very important because first, she's a girl, and witches are really powerful. You got witches that are, girls, and then you got warlocks who are boys. And I'm not sure who's stronger, but a deal was made, and it is so heart wrenching because then, Hilda, Hilda and Zelda and Edward confront Diane, and Diane's just bawling. She's crying because they finally, tracked her down in the woods. And Edward's like, did you really think you can escape us from the woods? We're everywhere. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, oh my God. Like, and he starts to tell her, like, we're in the woods, we're the wind, we're the mountains, we're the salt in the earth, we're, all this stuff. Like, and he's like, oh shit, like, you really can't escape these people. And also, this isn't a smudge that I just put right here that's between her nose. That's what she sees when she looks at Edward. So I don't know what he is. Like, um, and then Diana's like, how could you do this? Like, this is our daughter. Like, you're gonna give our daughter to these people? Like, what is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to protect your daughter, not give her to strange people in this so-called covenant. And then Edward's like, you knew the deal. You knew what it was. Like, I'm damned, and you're damned too. And one of the sisters, I think it was Hilda. I think I was trying to get that across. I may have fumbled it, but Hilda was like, well, if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't be able to conceive your child. So, as payment, as an offering, what I'm saying, we need your child. And I'm just like, what type of, that ain't, that ain't no exchange right there. So yeah, long story short, Diane loses her mind. Diane loses her mind, and Edward visits her in the the psych ward, mental institution, whatever you want to call it. And then he seems like he's okay with it because he has his daughter, so he's like whatever. And he's talking to the doctor, and he's like, I don't know, like she's in bad shape, man. And Edward seems to be like, he seems a little remorseful, but not as remorseful as you would, But then again, he's a warlock, so it's like, and then so the doctor's like, all right, so I know this is hard for you. How are you gonna raise your daughter all by yourself? And he's like, well, I have two sisters to help me with that. That's Zelda and Hilda. You want to come meet them? And he's like, no. Like, he looks over because Hilda and Zelda are, they have Sabrina in the baby stroller. And he takes one look across the courtyard, and he's like, no, I don't think I want to want to meet them. And so he, so anyway, the doctor goes off because he's smart. He's a smart guy. And, Edward goes to hold his baby. He holds Sabrina. He's like, my darling Sabrina. And so some years pass later. Uh, I want to say the year is 1957. Sabrina's 6 years old, and it's funny because she's like twirling her aunts around in the air, like her powers are, they're being realized. And I thought it was so cool because at the end, it's her birthday. It's her sixth birthday, and her aunts are like, "Put us down right now." I think it was Zelda who's like, "Put us down right now." You're not supposed to be having us in the air like this. And um, she's mad though. She's sad because her dad's not there. She's like, "Where's my dad? I want my dad." Like any kid would on their birthday. They're like, "Where's my parents?" She already lost her mom, so just to give it more perspective. So she's like, "Where's my dad?" And you actually find out really quickly that her somehow a spell was casted on her dad, and he's now like a tree. You know what I'm saying? He's now a werewolf tree. Like, it's crazy. I'm like, damn, did the coven do that? Did the coven do that because he married, his wife who was mortal? Like, I don't know. I think because it seems like it's forbidden to not necessarily have relations with a mortal, but to marry a mortal. I think, and to conceive, I think it's forbidden. But anyways, uh, they're like, Hilda being the sweet one she is, and I've always liked Hilda more than Zelda, especially in this rendition of the Sabrina, because Hilda's really nice and Zelda's a bit of a bitch, um, really stern, kind of disciplinarian, kind of no wiggle room for fun. But Hilda is like, relax, it's okay. Your dad really loves you. He can't be here right now, but he loves you. Um, and she's like, we got you a present. And so the present is none other than Salem, right? And I was like, oh, okay, because I was wondering, I was like, damn, these pages are going by pretty quick. Where's Salem? So Salem's there, and then Sabrina's like, I don't want no stinking old cat. I want my, I want my dad. And then Salem, Salem's like, well, yeah, I want my human body, but it's not here, so we got to deal with what we got to adjust to life basically. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Then the years pass by some more. I think it's 1961. She's in sixth grade, and she comes home crying, and she tells her aunt, she's like, somebody was picking on me, blah 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 blah. You know how it is. Kids pick on kids. Kids are mean as hell when you know what I'm saying. Um, so she's like, uh, well, basically, her aunts are infuriated, and Salem's infuriated. They're like, "What's going on? Who said this?" Um, no, because they call her a half breed. I should say that they call her a half breed. I don't think I said that, but she came home crying, and they were like, she was like, "The kids call me a half breed," and Zelda and Hilda and Salem were like, "What?" And Salem was like, "What's her name? I'll scratch her eyes out." And then And then Zelda's like, "That's not right." Blah blah blah. These kids, they have no manners, basically. And then Hilda's like, "Who said this? Um, do you know the name of the girl who said this?" And then, because I think she goes to all girls school, like, for witches, right? And then Sabrina's crying and she's like, Adeline Herbert or something. That's the girl's name, Adeline Herbert. And then she's just bawling because she's in sixth grade, and she's like, they said my dad married a half breed and not a half breed. My dad married a mortal, and that's why he's not here anymore. And he got banished by the council, and no one will ever love me because blah 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 blah. And it's just like you feel so sad for her. Yeah, it's like you're like, damn, like it's gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? And then